All right, hello and welcome to a feature that I'm calling Chats and Charts. Today's Chats and Charts, we will be taking a look at the Bitcoin chart as well as the Cardano chart, and then we're going to be going over a couple of technical analysis, the intro type stuff to kick this off. So here we have the Bitcoin USD chart for Coinbase, and we're on a chart, and you can see that we have the volume on the chart and we have the RSI. And these two indicators are the only indicators that we have on this chart because we're going to be charting minimally. Taking a look at this chart, we can see a chart pattern that is called a head and shoulders. The head, let's go ahead and take a look here. All right. So we can, if we wanted to put this on our little toolbar, we can click that and it puts it here. So we can easily use it. So drawing out this head and shoulder, let's take a look here. So we'll say that this is the left shoulder. That's the left neck line. This is the head. And that's the right shoulder. Well, that's the right neckline. But is this the right shoulder? I don't know. I think this has more to go down. This is the beginning of a head and shoulders, potentially. So this is the weekly chart here. But let's look at the RSI. The RSI is going down, so it's overbought. So it's starting to come down here. So I'm thinking that this has more to go. We've discussed this in the past that I thought that this Bitcoin chart had more to go further down. I'm expecting it to, I'm expecting it to come down to here or something like that, around here. Because if we look, we can see this line here is it shows past resistance to price. Like the price didn't want to break it here. It tried to break it here, it got rejected. So typically when that happens, this becomes support for the future. So it was resistance here and now it's support. All right, let's get rid of this this so that we can see this better. And once again, this is on the weekly chart. So typically the weekly trends are stronger than, like, say, a daily trend or an hourly trend or the shorter term trends. Let's take a look at the daily. All right. So in the daily, we have the RSI. It's further down, almost oversold. So it looks like it's doing a little tick up here, but I don't know if it's gonna hold. Like I said, I think it's coming down here. And if we look here, we have a bearish head and shoulders, where on the weekly chart we had a bullish head and shoulders. So let's take a look at this. All right, so if we go, I'm gonna go to this shoulder because oops. Okay. And typically, what happens with the head and shoulders, how you trade it is you draw a line from the head to the neckline. And this is the neckline. Let's draw a trend line from the head to the neckline. From the right shoulder and then this is your target here, which is very close to where we have this, which when you have indicators that are telling you the same things, and in this case, this head and shoulders, we're using this head and shoulders pattern as an indicator. It's what is called a confluence. So I'm looking for, this price has gotten very close here, so it could have reached its bottom, but I'm thinking it's going to come further down, and then I think it's going to go back up, creating another formation. But I think it has further to go down. And that is the Bitcoin USD chart on Coinbase for the daily. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. It's making higher highs and higher lows. So that's good, but it has not. If we were to draw a trend line, that goes from here across here, I would want the candle to close above this trend line before I really thought that was a breakout. And also, I'd like to change the weight of this to a lighter weight trend line. And that's how you do that. All right. Now, so that is the Bitcoin USD chart. Let's move over to the, thought I had that on there, but let's move over to the Cardano ADAUSD. And we can look at that at Coinbase. I already have a trend line on this chart. Let's also change the weight of this trend line here. So with this chart, it looks like we had a head and shoulders pattern here. And the head, and this is the left shoulder, the right shoulder. And it looks like it's already gone through its extension for that chart pattern. And then it looks like we have an inverse head and shoulders coming back up here. But once again, this RSI indicates that it's headed back into a buying, where there's more buying than selling. It's crossing over into a buy zone, and I would enter into a buy if the candlestick closes above this line. that would be one of the signals that I would use as a buy signal. So let's go back out and look at this at the long term, at the longer term view of this asset. In the long term view, we have a head and shoulders, a bullish head and shoulders. And typically, like if we were trading the head and shoulders pattern, we would not enter into the trade until it got past the neckline. However, if you're looking to get into a head and shoulders pattern early, then you would definitely want to make sure that you waited till it closed above this trend line. So that's the weekly. Let's look at the daily. It's close, but no cigar on the daily. And it's this, the RSI is still below 50 on the daily. So it shows a lot of indecision in the market. We have a spinning top, we have some hammers, just a lot of indecision at the bottom here, which means that price wants to go up, but then there's still pressure to go down. There's still a lot of selling pressure. So that is what the Bitcoin, this is what the Cardano chart looks like for this week. If there's a chart that you'd like me to go over, be it a stock chart or a crypto chart, please let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to go over it. If you have any questions about technical analysis and how to what would some of the recommended stop loss entry points, stop losses, and take profits are for a particular pattern, just ask and we can go over that as well. I hope you have a great week and talk to you next week.